Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Captain's Table. I am your host, Captain B-Nard, and topic of discussion today is going to be an overview and draft analysis for the YCL Wi-Fi. So, this is the big announcement. I am back after taking a few weeks off as sort of a summer vacation, and I'm excited to be joining up a brand new draft league here, the YCL Wi-Fi, which was actually founded by the same person who founded the RODL and ran it all the way up through season 3. So, like I said, I'm pretty excited to join this draft league. As you guys know, I've been kind of drifting a little bit as of late as far as content, just because I'm kind of over Sword and Shield at this point, and I'm just waiting for the new content to come out, the new games, which of course are the Diamond and Pearl remakes that we're getting toward the end of the year, a few months away at this point. So I decided to go up ahead and join up another draft league. This one seems to be like it should be a little more fun than the last one I've been in, hopefully. So yeah, I'm excited about that. This draft league operates very similarly to all the ones that I have joined in the past. With a few exceptions, which I'll explain. So it is a point-based draft, as are all the drafts that I've been involved with. The point values are a little different, and what Pokemon are worth what, and what tiers, obviously, which Pokemon fall into are a little bit differently. And there's a couple specialty clauses in this league that are a little bit different than the other leagues, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same idea that we've been used to here in all the draft leagues that I've joined. This is actually my fifth now draft league that I've joined up, and so there have been a bunch of YCL draft leagues, although this one is the first ever YCL Wi-Fi league, meaning that it's going to be conducted on Wi-Fi unless I suppose both participants agree to do LAN, but I think most of the games are going to be done on Wi-Fi, hence the YCL Wi-Fi. So it's kind of like an offshoot or a spin-off of like the main YCL. But any event seems like fun. I kind of wanted something to do here, winding down Sword and Shield once again, as I've been saying for weeks now. So, yeah, go ahead and joined it, and I'm pretty excited to get into it. So, we're going to talk about the team like we always do here. I'm going to go through the team that I drafted for this league and kind of why I chose each pick, and why I like them and what I'm hoping to get out of it and all that good stuff. So, that being said, we are going to go ahead and start taking a look at the team here. So without further ado, I present to you the YCL Wi-Fi Philadelphia Pidgeys. So of course the Pidgeys are back, ready to fly again, and yes, this is the team that I drafted. So um, I'm pretty excited about this team, I have to say. There are a lot of familiar faces on this team from draft leagues past, which is maybe one of the reasons that I am excited about this team. So we're just going to go ahead and go through it. So, starting at the top, the first Pokemon that I drafted in this league was Corviknight. So this is a Pokemon that I've had my eye on for a draft for the last couple of leagues I've been in, actually, but I just wasn't able to get to it before someone else grabbed it. So I was like, you know what? It's one of the higher tier Mons in this draft, so I decided I was going to pick it up round one. So it is a premier wall, a premier steel flying type, obviously. An incredible Pokemon out of Sword and Shield, and it has a lot of uses, a lot of strengths, and yeah, it's a really cool Pokemon. I just like it, and it is very good, so that's kind of why I grabbed it. And yeah, definitely hoping I can make some big things happen with it here. Like I said, it was one of the higher tier Pokemon, and I think it was the most expensive point tier of Pokemon that I drafted in this league. So, yeah, hoping I can do good things with it. So, moving on to the number two pick, of course, we have the same person, individual, Pokemon, icon, team captain, what have you, all of the above that I have in as my number two pick on every single rendition of the Philadelphia Pidgeys, and that is, of course, the Captain Goodra. I've upgraded him to the official team captain of the Philadelphia Pidgeys, aside from myself. I guess I should say co-captain, because I don't want to throw myself out the window. But anyway, so yeah, Goodra coming in at number 2 is always premier dragon type. Of course, great special wall. Hits very hard as well. Lots of different things you can do with it too. So, like I said, it has just kind of become a staple of the Philadelphia Pidgeys, and I can't imagine having a draft league without this guy. So it is just a reliable Pokemon all around and a great addition to the team. So once again, hoping for some big things out of Goodra. Don't really have, I guess, too much more to say about it. I think I hyped it up uh, relatively well. One of my personal favorite Pokemon, of course, as well, which is why it has landed on every version of the Philadelphia Pidgeys. So, moving along to the third pick, we have Galvantula. So, Galvantula is a Pokemon that I've drafted once before previously in the championship winning NGDL for Philadelphia Pidgeys, although there has to be an asterisk next to that because this was one of the Pokemon that I picked up as part of the playoff draft as it was back then. So if you made the playoffs in that league, you got to draft some additional Pokemon. This was one of the ones I grabbed. So I've never actually been able to grab Galvantula in the main draft of any league that I've been in up until this point. So that's why it was still on the board in round 3. I actually got a relatively good spot in the draft toward the top of the list, which is something I failed to mention in the intro, but I'm mentioning it now. So there you go. So I was able to grab Galvantula, so I'm really happy with that. Galvantula is an awesome Pokemon, one of the premier sticky web users in the game, obviously. Bug electric typing, and hits very hard on the special side, very fast as well. So it is a great all-around Pokemon, and it does great things for a lot of teams. I'm actually a little bit surprised that nobody snapped it up earlier, because I've seen Galvantula go uh, as early as round 1 in a lot of drafts just because it is the premier sticky web user, essentially. Obviously, there's some others that do it, although my opinion, Galvantula does it better than any because it has access to Volt Switch as well. So, great utility there. So I'm looking forward to actually having Galvantula for the entire season this time as opposed to just in the playoff draft last time that I had it. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to using that. So moving on to round 4, then we grabbed Blastoise, obviously pure water type, one of the original starters as we all remember, and a Pokemon that in Sword and Shield got infinitely better than it already was because Blastoise was already a great Pokemon, already had Rapid Spin, already had a plethora of options to use with it. But now, as we all should know, in Gen 8, Blastoise has access to Shell Smash, which is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. It just makes Blastoise that much better. So I'm was really mulling it over, but I kind of decided to make the obvious pick here and go with the Blastoise because I wanted a bulky water type at this point in the draft, but Blastoise was just the obvious choice based on what was left, and it is just a great Pokemon for all of those aforementioned reasons. Like I said, in Sword and Shield, just got that much better. So I am looking forward to using Blastoise as well. I'm hoping I can make it do some big things here. In the YCL Wi-Fi. So yeah, I don't really have too much more to say about that. Moving along to the number 5 pick, I kind of wanted to pick up some more speed at this point and dip into the physical side more in the draft. So I decided to go ahead and grab Lycanroc Dusk Form. So pure rock type, obviously from Gen 7, and so Lycanroc Dusk is pretty much widely regarded as the best of the Lycanroc forms, even though it's not super different from midday Lycanroc, a little bit different stat distribution, just a hair, and moves, I believe, a hair different as well. Ability, obviously. But yeah, Lycanroc Dusk is a Pokemon that, once again, I've considered using in Draft League before. Um, I don't want to say that I really had my heart set on it, but I thought that it kind of fit with what I had going on in the team pretty well at this point. It can hit very hard on the physical side. Obviously, has access to Accelerock, that rock priority move that only Lycanroc gets at this point, and it can do a bunch of other stuff too. It can set up, it can set hazards, it can it can do a lot. So fast and physical, and yeah, I'm looking forward to using this guy. Hoping that I can make it do something good. So yeah, I guess I don't have too much else to say about that. Moving right along, we're going to get to round 6 in the draft, and our round 6 pickup was probably the Pokemon that I've been waiting the longest to use in a draft league, and that is type Null. So I have been wanting to draft type Null ever since the very first draft league that I've entered. And we are now on the 5th draft league that I'm currently entering. So it was finally time. Every other time I wanted type Null, it got picked before I got to it because there was other stuff that I wanted or needed to try and round the team out. And I got to be honest, this time around, I was kind of just shooting from the hip with most of this team. And so I decided, you know what? Type Null is still on the board. Round 6, the time is now. We're going to pick it up finally, and I'm very happy that I got it. So, much to the chagrin of a couple other people in the draft, were eyeing it up, but I'm glad that I got to it before them. So, type Null, obviously, normal type Pokemon, Gen 7 as well. Just a really, really, really hard Pokemon to knock out. The best Eviolite user in the game, arguably, and I would definitely make that argument. It can also set up. It has a pretty decent move pool as well, I believe, pivot. So, yeah, this Type Null is a Pokemon that a lot of people can sleep on, but it can do a lot of things. It can take a hit pretty much under any circumstances. So I am very happy to have this thing on the team. And like I said, I am hoping that I can make it do some good things here. It is, like I said, definitely the Pokemon that I've wanted to draft for the longest amount of time and not gotten to draft it. So it's finally here, finally part of the Philadelphia Pidgeys, and we are going to see if we can make it put in some work. So, moving along to our 7th round pick, we're going to have nothing but familiar faces from this point forward. Of course, returning to the Philadelphia Pidgeys for the 3rd time now, we have Hitmonlee. So, pure fighting type obviously needs no introduction. Hits very hard on the physical side, pretty fast as well. A number of things you can do with it, whether it be spinning or unburden or what have you. Priority moves as well it has access to. So Hitmonlee is a real powerhouse. It has done great things for the Philadelphia Pidgeys in the past. It was part of the NGDL 3 and 4 Philadelphia Pidgeys. So yeah, back for a 3rd time here now, and yeah, I'm very excited to get Hitmonlee back. And I expect good things from it because it has done good things for the Pidgeys before. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can make it do this time around. So moving on to our 8th pick. Now we have once again another Pokemon returning to the Philadelphia Pidgeys for the 3rd time. We have Cresselia. So we grabbed Cresselia previously in the NGDL 4 championship winning Philadelphia Pidgeys, and also last season in the RODL 4 Philadelphia Pidgeys. So, Cresselia, pure psychic type. Again, so many options with Cresselia. Obviously, access to Levitate makes it very strong. Incredibly, incredibly bulky Pokemon, but also has a lot of support and setup options as well. Really, really solid Pokemon, and so I was happy to get it. I was kind of holding some points to make some big plays in the last few rounds of this draft, like I normally try to do. So I was happy Cresselia was still available at this point. A lot of people, again, sleep on Cresselia because it is not the strongest. It cannot hit the hardest, but it is just so bulky and it has so many versatile options that you can use with it. So I'm glad to bring it back once again here. And yeah, moving on to our ninth pick, we have Alolan Ninetales. So a returning, let's see here. This is a returning RODL 3 Philadelphia Pidgey. That's right. So the Alolan Ninetales, another personal favorite of mine, a Pokemon that is just really, really cool. I just love it. Probably one of the only, if not the only, alternate form, like Alolan, Galarian, whatever, that I actually could make an argument that I like more than the original version of it. And that's saying a lot because I really like the original version of Ninetales. But Alolan Ninetales is awesome. Obviously, once again, so many options with this thing. And that's kind of the theme. I'm driving home or trying to drive home with you guys with this version of the Philadelphia Pidgeys here. Options. So Alolan Ninetales, it can set the hail, weather, um, screens, Aurora Veil, very strong on the special side, very fast. Um, just a great Pokemon to use with a lot of different options. So I'm happy to bring it back. It put in a lot of work in the RODL3, so I'm looking forward to using it more in this season. We did use it quite a lot actually in the RODL3, so hoping we can get some more good use out of it this season. Again, just a lot of options and a niche to do certain things that certain Pokemon just can't do. So, um, that said, finally rounding off the team for our round 10 pick, we have Sandaconda. So a returning RODL 4 Philadelphia Pidgey in its own right, although we didn't really get much of a chance to use it because we only picked up the Sandaconda toward the end of the RODL 4, and then we ended up not finishing, as many of you may remember. Controversies arose, so we didn't really get a lot of opportunity to use Sandaconda very much. So bringing it back, obviously pure ground type, bringing it back here for the YCL Wi-Fi Philadelphia Pidgeys. I'm hoping to get to use it more. Again, another Pokemon that has a lot of options. It can set up, it can set hazards, it can hit very hard on the physical side. It's pretty bulky as well. Yeah, it's got a lot of options. So, and it is a Pokemon that I like, a newer one, obviously, and so very much looking forward to getting at the opportunity to use it more in this season. So, yeah, that is the team, guys. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, ironically, I did a lot of shooting from the hip with this team, so I think it came out well, very well, considering that. I tried to bring back a lot of former Philadelphia Pidgeys just because I wanted to reuse a lot of these. Obviously, like I said, this is Gudra's fifth time on the team, and then um, we have the second time for Galvantula, third for Hitmonlee and Cresselia, and second for Ninetales and Sandaconda. Um, so I am trying to get more use out of Pokemon that either, well, all Pokemon that I like, let's be fair, but Pokemon that I either used to great avail in past draft leagues or Pokemon that maybe I didn't get much of a chance to let them shine too much in previous draft leagues and wanted to try and make that happen this time around. So, like I said, I am very happy with the team overall. There's a couple typing things that I wish I could have changed, made a little bit differently. And there's always the possibility to switch a couple picks around going forward as I normally do in these draft leagues. But overall, I am very happy with the team that I drafted, and I am pretty excited to see what it can do. So, that is going to bring us to the close. So, some closing remarks here about the YCL Wi-Fi. So, the YCL Wi-Fi, the main season is, I believe, only 9 rounds. So that's one key difference from draft leagues past. I believe all of my prior draft leagues were 12 weeks, and this one is 9, like I said. So that's one difference. Second difference, I don't believe there are any divisions or conferences in this league, although it is still made up of 16 teams, same as all the other. I don't think there are any divisions or conferences here, so we're not going to be, to my knowledge, I'll have to double check this, but I was looking over particulars of the league, and I don't think there are any duplicate matches, which is something that was big in prior leagues, having divisional and conference rivalries and opponents, and that was going to be heavily dependent on whether or not you could make it into the playoffs or not. But with this league this time around, I believe it is just a straight up 9 weeks, and the 8 best records, I believe, will make playoffs. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. So this is a lot more, I think, chaotic. I think anything can happen here. Which I guess kind of matches my shoot from the hip kind of sort of strategy for the draft league here. So yeah, it seems like it will be pretty exciting. It has a nice feel to it. This league, I will say, for starters, it seems pretty laid back, easygoing, and friendly and fun, especially compared to prior draft leagues. Hopefully, there's not going to be um, any issues like we had last season. I know I'm kind of taking a leap of faith on that, but I think based on everything that I've seen, that shouldn't be nearly as much of an issue as it was before, nor should any of the other unfortunate circumstances surrounding what's happened in leagues prior shouldn't be a factor here. So, yeah, I am very much looking forward to this league. I kind of feel like after what happened at the end of the RODL 4, I was not happy, and I talked to you guys about this at the time that it happened. I was not happy with how that played out. I was not happy with how that ended. Um, I feel like I let myself down and I let the fans down as far as all that goes. And it's not the end of the world, obviously, but as someone who is a YouTube content creator for fun, I was not happy with the way that whole situation played out. So I view this as kind of a fresh start, an opportunity for redemption, I hope, an opportunity to turn out some great content for you guys, as I always aim to do, and an opportunity to hopefully make playoffs again, because we're kind of slipping here. I will say the Philadelphia Pidgeys, we had our heyday in the past. I know I keep mentioning it over and over again, partially as a joke, but partially because I'm proud of it. Um, Being the NGDL4 champions, that was actually the only time we've ever made the playoffs as the Philadelphia Pidgeys. So we are in, like I mentioned before a couple times, this is the 5th league that I've entered here, and so far we're 1-4 as far as even making playoffs in leagues that we've entered. So definitely going to be aiming for a playoff run this time around. We're really going to try and buckle down and get the wins this time. Like I mentioned, the last season of draft that we were in, the RODL 4, things 100% did not go the way I wanted them to in that league. Part of that was on me, maybe some of the draft decisions I made or in-game choices that I made. Part of it was circumstances beyond my control. So I am hoping that none of that plays out the same this time around, and hoping we can have some fun with it and get some dubs and make playoffs. That is the goal for the Philadelphia Pidgeys. It is time, hopefully, for the Pidgeys to fly once again. So, I hope you guys will stay tuned for all this content coming your way. There'll be the weekly battles. You guys know the drill. Same as it always is with the draft leagues. The first week is slated to be just a few days away, actually, from now. So I should be getting the first battle of the league out to you guys sooner rather than later here in the YCL Wi-Fi. So, yeah, hopefully we can get it done. So, I'm hoping you guys are looking forward to the content for the rest of the season here. I am looking forward to playing it out. And like I said, we're going to give it our all this time, and we are going to see what happens. So, that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, share the video, subscribe, like, all that good stuff if you did enjoy. And stay tuned for more new videos in the future. Stay tuned for the entirety of the YCL Wi-Fi Draft League featuring the return of the Philadelphia Pidgeys. So, that's it, and we'll see you next time.